traditionally, you want to get under this arm and under this arm, and he's trying to fight his arm in. And he's constantly fighting this battle of trying to get in here. One of the other things that I'm always cognizant of is where this leg is. Because a lot of guys will like a hook with this. So if you leave this guy out here, he'll step over and he'll hook that. Now I got a whole bunch of other things I have to deal with. Exactly. Gets his knee in real fast, things like that. So when I'm in side control, there's a couple things I like to do. I always like to be keeping as much pressure on them as I can. I'm always thinking about collapsing their chest. Because if I can make it hard for them to breathe, it's harder for them to do whatever they want. Right? And along with that, I'm always trying to put pressure on them so that they're worried about that and not worried about what I'm trying to do next. I always want to make them feel like I have to deal with this before I go deal with something else. And then that's when they're not dealing with that something else, that's what I want to do. So if you're in here, I like to keep the knee here so I can kind of check the hip and kind of see where he's going. And at the same time, I can always bring it back and apply pressure. You're always just kind of like a little bit off the ground. You slide a piece of paper under your knees. If he starts bringing his hips to me, that's when I'll come in here and check and then come back. So just kind of, you're always kind of riding that feeling of where he's moving. So the first things I always look for, I like to attack the far side first. So there's kind of the big three on the far side. There's the Americana, straight arm, more. I've been doing Americana a lot lately, so let's just go over that. So side always starts with cross face here, and always under the pit, grabbing that little handle there and bringing it back to you and your shoulder across their face, as opposed to chasing this thing. If I chase this thing, he can roll me. It doesn't matter how much bigger I am than him. He can buck me. All right, so we're bringing this cross face back in here. So a couple different ways to get it. A lot of times these guys will be trying to come across your face. If they do that, I literally just push down with my head, come across, elbow in the crook of the neck, grab, finish. Now when we finish, I like to be not on the wrist, not on the hand. I like to be right in the middle. And again, monkey paw grip. And I like to take that so you can rev the engine, right? Back up here. And when you finish this, it's down, in, and up, right? And we're bringing your elbows, just like everything else, we're bringing our elbows back into our bodies, because that's where we're the strongest. So you're here, you come in, and that's where your finish is. So, I'm in side control. If he comes across, I'll post it with my head, and I'll move to it. If he's not coming across, I may have to do something to promote that. I'll lean heavier on this, and I'll start bringing this arm up. If I can windshield wiper this, I'll come that way. A lot of times that's difficult, but just this little bit will prompt him to put his hand over my head, and then that's when I'll trap it. And I come in again, elbow in the crook, grabbing the hand and the wrist with the monkey paw. When you're bringing this arm in, and I don't know what the aerodynamics of your hand are, but it always seems if you go knuckles down, it's easier to get your hand in and then turn it over, right? You try to come in like this, I always seem to get my hand stuck. So I always go knuckles down, come in, then turn over for my finish. Anybody have any questions? You guys want us to turn around to see it? Same thing, so dominant side control, pressure, make his face red, usually one of my favorite parts. If he brings this over, or I prompt this, I'll just start to work this. As soon as he does that, I'll come across, boom. Knuckles down, rub, tap, and elbow. Any questions? Anybody want to see it again? 1, 2, 3.